In my last video, a couple of people commented about children growing. In my opinion, growing is not the same thing as aging. Aging appears to be the degradation of the body. Think about the things we typically associate with aging. Withering of skin, wrinkles, hair loss, brittle bones. From an objective perspective, it appears to be the body breaking down, which to me has nothing to do with how many times we witness the sun rise or set. Imagine we lived in a civilization where a year or a day was determined not by the rising and the setting of the sun, but by the crowing of a rooster. So 365 crows would be a year. Now, tell me, what does the sound of a crowing rooster have to do with the degradation of the body? Think about cut flowers. When you buy them from the grocery store, they last about 3 to 5 days before they begin to wilt or degrade. So to the average person, the life cycle of a cut flower would be 5 days. But did you know that adding a small bit of vodka to the water in your cut flowers actually increases the lifespan of your flowers? So now a chemical change has altered our understanding of what we thought was normal degradation or decay. The plant's lifespan had nothing to do with the passage of time and everything to do with our ignorance of how to take care of it. And I think the same applies to our bodies. Some scientists have likened aging to a disease that can't be cured. Now, I've suggested that there could be a psychosomatic, self-fulfilling, self-hypnotic aspect to the aging process as well. Think about the arbitrary markers that we use to mark the passage of time. Annual holidays, calendars, clocks, how close or how far our section of the planet happens to be from the sun at any given time, what we call seasons. These are just measures of change, and anything that happens in a cycle could be used to measure change, and there go time. Now imagine we didn't have these. Imagine we didn't have any calendars, no random days, like today is Sunday. What does that even mean? Sunday, Monday. Imagine we got rid of all of that. Then what? I think time, because it's a construct, has very little to do with aging. I think it's our constant exposure to environmental toxins that we subject our bodies to, along with the nutritional deficiency of the foods we eat. Throw in radiation exposure from too much sun, and what we call aging is simply the accumulative effects of the harm that we are unknowingly causing to our bodies. The copious amounts of alcohol that we are encouraged to drink in this society, for example, the insane amount of caffeine consumption that is considered normative, our steady diets of highly inflammatory foods, stress, lack of sleep, trauma, how much we overtax our immune system. You look in a mirror and what you're seeing is the accumulative effects of that. All that wear and tear will eventually reflect on the face, bones, skin, and teeth. Not to mention how we consistently prime ourselves to be older. I heard my mom the other day say something to me. She jumped, and she jumped perfectly fine. But then she stopped herself from jumping because she said she's not supposed to be doing that at her age. I said, but you just did it. And she said, yes, but I'm not supposed to be doing that at my age. Well, if you consistently tell your body that you're not supposed to be doing something, guess what? Eventually, you won't be able to do that thing. Now, think about how many times we prime our own minds and condition ourselves by saying, oh, I'm getting old. I'm starting to feel my age. We are programming our minds and our bodies to degrade. Once again, I call in placebo effects and nocebo effects, as these are examples of the mind affecting matter, the mind affecting the body. All of this has very little to do with time, because once again, that's just a construct. There's no such thing as Sunday or Monday. It's just a collective, agreed upon delusion. What we're witnessing is cause and effect. That's why you can take 70-year-olds of different walks of life. They're not all going to look the same, because that's not what's going on. It's how they treat their body. If they're living low stress versus high stress lives, if they're eating well, if they're resting, if they're meditating, what their expectations are and how they're supposed to look and feel, all of the above will be reflected on their face, in their bodies. Something to think about.